Welcome to Chapter 3, Lesson 6, where we're going to apply different stroke artistic effects to our image. So the first thing I need you to do is to open your last name, first name, snowball assembled file, and we're going to make some alterations to our strokes or borders within this picture. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the eyebrow, and then we're going to hold down Shift, select our nose, and then also select our mouth. Then you're going to come up to the select bar and click inverse. What this is going to do is deselect the items that we have selected and select everything else. So we're going to click on inverse, and it will change what is selected. Now I want you to go to Objects and Hide, and then go to Selection so that only the mouth, the nose, and the eyebrow are showing. I would go ahead and just zoom in a little bit, and you can use your hand tool to reposition the objects within your art window. So what we're going to do is adjust all of the features on our stroke functions. So if you do not have your stroke window open, you're going to come to Window and just select Stroke. And if you don't see all these options, if yours looks like this, I just want you to come over to these three bars and hit Show Options so that everything is showing. So first off, we need to go to our selection tool again, click on our eyebrow, hold Shift, click on our nose, and then on our mouth. And we are going to change the stroke weight to be 3 points. So now we have a little bit thicker of a stroke function in our window. Now we're going to go to our stroke options, and we're going to look at some of the different functions. So we can do change our caps, which are the ends. We can change those to butt caps, round caps, and projecting caps. So let's go ahead and change ours to round caps. We can also adjust our corners or our joins. We have the different options of miter, of round, and of bevel. So if you look at bevel, you can see that it makes the joins flat, but we're going to go ahead and click on our round joins. So now let's go ahead and go back to our objects, go to Show All so that all of our objects appear. Let's deselect everything and go to our Direct Selection tool because we want to select our teeth, but since they are grouped with our mouth, we have to do a direct selection. So we're going to select our teeth, and then we're going to come over and we are going to remove the stroke by using our swatches and clicking the None option on our teeth. And I accidentally did it on our fill, so we can add it back in and then make sure that we click our stroke and remove our stroke. So it will look like we have a wider mouth now. So the next thing we're going to do is look at how to create a dashed stroke. So the same way that we did our inverse for our 3 items, we're going to do with just 1 item. So we're going to click on our snowball, come to Select and Inverse, and then we're going to come to Objects, Hide, and Selection. So the only thing that's visible is going to be our snowball. So let's go ahead and click on our snowball, and we're going to change our weight to 4. And then we're going to look at our dashed lined options, and you'll see down here you have a box where you can check and you can adjust the dashed line options. So you guys can play around with the different looks of the dashed lines, but for now we are going to change our dash to 1 point and then our gap to 4 point. And then make sure that your weight is at 4 point as well. And then the last thing that we're going to do is change to a round cap. So we're going to select our round caps, and you'll notice that now we have thick circles and a thick dashed border around our snowman, or snowball. So go ahead, come back to Objects, go to Show All so that we can see everything in our image again, and we're going to click and deselect all of our objects. So now we're going to learn how to create pseudo-strokes, which are strokes where we're going to use an image behind our object to make it look like we were adjusting the strokes in different ways. So to do this, we are going to click on our pom-pom on the top of our hat, and we're going to do a Control-C or a copy, and then we're going to come to Edit and Paste in Back. Then we're going to come over to our fill option, so make sure we click to activate our fill, and we're going to change that to black as well. You won't see an image change because it's pasted behind our original pom-pom. So deselecting in the artboard just to make sure we have the right pom-pom selected, we're going to select the one in front and come to Object and Lock and Selection, so that as we use our direct selection tool, we're not moving our pom-pom that's on top. So we're going to come to our direct selection tool, and we're going to hover until we see the anchor appear for our image behind it. We're going to click on that, and then we can hit our down arrow 5 times, and it will pseudo widen our stroke to make it look like we've adjusted it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can do it a couple times around our edges, clicking on those anchors, maybe 2 here, 3 here, and maybe 4 over here. And so now you can see that it looks like we have a thicker stroke, and it's also not uniform around our image. So go ahead, click anywhere on your artboard to deselect. And now we're going to do the same thing with both of the eyes. I'll walk through one with you, and then you need to complete the second one on your own. So using our selection tool, we will select our eye and do either Control-C or Edit and Copy, and then we're going to do the paste and back. And then just like before, we're going to make sure that we click on our fill option and change our fill to black. And then we're going to click anywhere on the artboard to deselect, and then click again to make sure that we get our front eye. Go to Object, Lock, and Selection. And then use our direct selection tool to find those anchors around the eye. So let's start with one over here, which hopefully we can find. There it is. And then we're going to use our keyboard, our arrows, to change that outline. So just hitting maybe twice over here, once over here, maybe 2, and 1 or 2 down here. It's really up to you. Now I want you to go ahead and do the same thing with the second eye, so that when you turn in your final snowball assembled project, it will look something similar to, not that one, this one. So go ahead and do that, and then save your assignment and turn it in.